They say a coma is a black hole, a hiatus, a pause where the body survives but the mind sleeps, silent, empty. But I remember everything. There was no darkness. There was a place where things breathed differently, as if time there had teeth. At first it was just silence, a thick, heavy silence, almost alive. I couldn't feel my body. It was like floating in warm bath water, but with no edges, no bottom. And then I saw him. In the middle of the milky mist that filled that space, a small shape appeared and familiar. A wagging tail. Paws scurrying on a floor I couldn't see. That uncontainable joy, as if the years had never passed. It was Tico, my childhood dog. A mutt with big ears and brown eyes that used to follow me everywhere when I was a kid. He died when I was 12. A car accident. I buried him with my own hands under the yellow ipe tree in my grandmother's backyard. But there he was, alive, happy. I knelt down, felt something in my chest I hadn't felt in a very long time, a warm wave. Love. He ran up to me, curled into my lap, licked my face the way he used to when I cried, and I cried again. I didn't question it, didn't think. It was him, and that was all that mattered. "You came to get me, boy?" I asked, voice trembling. He just looked at me. A look that, even without words, said more than any sentence. It wasn't time yet. But then he stopped. His ears perked up, tail frozen mid-wag. He looked back, into the fog. And he ran, fast, like something was chasing him. Gone. And then the cold came. I called. Once, twice, 3 times. "Tico?" Nothing. The fog seemed to swallow his name, as if words no longer had weight in that place. The floor, which hadn't existed before, now felt real beneath me. But it was cold. Moisture creeping up through the soles of my feet, like invisible mud. The air started to change. It smelled like an old hospital, like dead people's clothes, like iron. And that's when I felt it. The first time, I didn't see it. I didn't hear it. But I felt it. A light pressure on the right side of my neck. A shiver that didn't come from the skin, but from inside. As if something ancient had opened its eyes behind me. My instinct screamed. I turned around. Nothing. Just mist. Just silence. But the silence was wrong. It wasn't the same as before. This silence listened. This silence waited. I kept walking, or I thought I did. The place didn't follow logic. Every direction looked the same. A cycle of gray corridors with no ceilings, locked doors with no handles, walls that pulsed like living flesh in the distance. I didn't know what I was looking for. I just knew I couldn't stop. If I stopped, that thing might find me first. And then the whispers began. Faint, distant, but each word carried a weight that bent my shoulders. "He's awake. This time he won't escape. Everyone who sees me comes back mute." I don't know if those voices came from the creature, or from my mind, or from the hospital. But then I saw it. Not directly. It was like a shadow that didn't belong. One that bent space, tilted the walls around it. The air rippled around it like heat over asphalt. Its eyes weren't eyes, they were holes. Black, still, like bottomless pits where time drowned. And worse than seeing it was feeling it. I felt every person it had ever touched, every death it caused, every breath it stopped. It was as if the creature was a stain of centuries, a living idea, the hunger of something that waits in the cracks between life and death. I ran, again, and the scenery shifted with me. Or maybe I shifted with it. Stairs that led to ceilings, elevators that only went down, even without floors, a hospital bed in the middle of a forest made of marble. Everything was wrong, everything built to trap me, I screamed. Somebody get me out of here! And then, as if answering some ancient call, Tico appeared again. He was there, in the middle of the twisted hallway like he'd never left. Tico, but now he didn't run. He didn't bark. He just stood there, body facing forward but eyes fixed on me. Like someone waiting, like someone guarding. Without thinking, I began to follow him. With each step, the air grew lighter. The fog pulled back. The walls drifted farther apart. And at the end of the hallway, there was light, a warm light, growing, pulsing like a giant heart. It seemed to call me, like the sound of my own breath returning to my body. But just before I reached it, something made me turn my head, and there it was. The creature, standing still, at the far end of the corridor, not moving, not making a sound. It just watched me. It didn't move forward. It didn't scream. It didn't try to stop me. But I felt it. It knew I was escaping, and it let me, because it knew that one day I'd come back. Its empty eyes didn't follow me. They waited. I looked back at Tico. He was already running toward the light. So I ran too. The ground began to curve. Gravity returned. The sound of heart monitors echoed, like drums beating in the dark. Come on, let's go! Increase the dose! Heart's responding! He's coming back! The light grew like a sun at the end of the road. Tico's shadow got smaller and smaller until it vanished, and then came the pain. I woke up gasping, as if my lungs had never existed before that moment. Blurry shapes, white coats, masks, muffled voices. He's awake! Hey, can you hear me? Someone was crying. Maybe it was me. It took time to understand where I was. The hard bed, the IV in my arm, that cold hospital light. They explained everything. The accident, the coma, 3 weeks. I only asked one thing. Is Tico okay? No one knew who Tico was. They asked me to eat something. They brought warm soup, crackers, watered down juice. Slowly, they said, "You're coming back. Welcome back." And for a few hours I believed it, until night came, and the room went quiet. Not midnight quiet, the other kind. That kind of silence that listens. I turned my head, and there it was. In the corner of the room, just beyond the reach of the monitor light, a shape. Still, motionless, watching. It didn't move. It didn't need to, because I felt it. It was still with me. I woke up from the coma, but I left something behind and brought something else back. And now every night, when the silence changes, I know it's waiting for me to close my eyes.